Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with yet another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. A lot of people trying to do lives now, but come on. Okay. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's see if we can get our guest and get it going. What's up? I love kicking with locks. Welcome. I have our guest in just a moment. Just a moment. You didn't cop anything new? Oh, man. What's up? It's the Kicks. Give me just a second. Oh, man. Might be a restock on those lost and found ones. I don't know if either of y'all want them, but that may happen. Hopefully it does. I need a pair still. Yes, I'm live right now. I'm going to get those lucky green Jordan ones. I received the lucky greens yesterday. Well, hello.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing good. Good.
Good. It's been some years. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been
I
a
think I
long
might
time.
I think I might have still been running next Tower City the last time we actually spoke without it being a message.
You were,
Oh, man.
and you convinced me to buy these.
Oh yeah, I remember those. The sky highs.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sky
you still
High
got
was,
those.
was real big at the time when I was dating. I went ahead and got them, and I don't regret it.
That's good because you can't really find those now. They don't really do that anymore.
No. These are really hard to find now, especially that color too.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. I'm honored that you still have those. T.
Yeah, I just wore them back in October. Last time I wore them.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Shorty Sneaker Conversations. You know, this is episode 124. For the flyer, I had to use Missy songs because I know, you and her spoke a couple of times, you know what I'm saying,
Oh yeah.
online. So, you know,
Yeah,
hey.
I should have cracked out my jersey. I got the jersey from her first album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's I also like, that Khadijah James Jr.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
that's
that.
my other handle. Yep, Khadijah James Jr. That's my public page.
Nice. All right. Well, um, I always ask my guests, what's the most positive thing you've been able to take from the
My
world
bad,
since the
my alarm went
pandemic
off. I
started?
didn't hear your question.
I said, what's the most positive thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
I spent a lot of time with my kids, exposing them to the '90s culture because we ain't had nothing else to do, nowhere to go. We binge watched Family Matters, hanging with Mr. Cooper, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and they loved it. They actually really got really deep into it to the point now they're asking me to rewatch certain series. I'm like, man, y'all want to binge watch it again? Okay. But that was really cool to spend time with them and really immerse them in the shows and cartoons that I watched growing up. And the fact that they loved it too, it helps us bond and helps them understand me better. I
Okay.
really love that. I'm really close to my kids.
I
I
can tell.
Yeah, I don't have them back here in my room with me, but I got my son some custom made Air Force Ones with Spider-Man on one shoe, and actually got both Spider-Mans. That's Peter Parker and Miles Morales, and then I got Black Panther on the other side, on the other shoe.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
See, I'm kind
Cool.
of bringing them into mommy's world,
Cool.
creating little
Now,
monsters.
what did you wear today?
Today, I wore the my all pink Harachis. I forgot the exact name of it, but they're like hyper pink, I believe.
Okay.
Hot pink had to match the Aaliyah shirt.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I'm
always
all the way in the
been.
back of my office, so I don't even got them back here with me. I just, take the shoes off, come in the house, and relax.
Nah, I get you. Today I broke out some mids. These are a recent thrift find, so you
Okay.
know, look, I missed these when I was working for Hibbett. I let them sell out before I could get them. It was that random time where right before the pandemic, certain OG color block mids we would sell out. Uh, because they had resale value then, so it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of a weird time. So, but okay. Now I will say I do need to apologize to you because I forgot to send you the format of how the show goes. But
No
basically, it just breaks
problem.
down into 4 quarters. The first quarter is sneaker origins. Second quarter is kind of a more recent sneaker past. Um, we have halftime, and then quarter three is the shoe game now. Quarter four is the future.
Okay.
So we can run through all of that real quick. Shout out to everybody joining. Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Thank
y'all.
you for being here. Um, so just diving right in, what was that first sneaker moment or memory that you have that kind of like sparked everything?
Man, I've been into shoes for as long as I can remember, honestly. Growing up as a kid in the 90s, there's three things: basketball, hip hop, shoes, because they all connected to each other. So
Yeah,
they were so immersed.
yeah. I always say sneakers, basketball, hip hop are the holy trinity.
Yes, and
So the fact that you said that,
it's just being there, as a kid, and I grew up in Cleveland, so Randall Park Mall was life. I went to the mall. I was a baby mall rat. As soon as I could walk, I'm walking through the mall with my mom and my big cousins, and they got Foot Locker at the time was the big deal, and the shoes on display, and we would go in Foot Locker. I remember my mom buying me like some Air Max 95s, and they were pink and dark blue. And she brought my brothers like the blue and green ones, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. We had all the same Nikes, and it's always been in me. My mom always jokes that I've always been this way. I haven't changed since I was little. I was the kid that got the toothbrush and I'm cleaning my shoes. My shoes old, but you can't tell because I keep them so clean. I come from a big family too, so getting shoes, you probably only got shoes twice a year. You get tennis shoes and boots. So when I got older, I get my first job. I went crazy. I bought like 30 pairs of shoes in the course of a year when I got my first job, just to give them all away when I left for college and started from scratch. And now I have about 50 pairs now. I kind of took a break, become a parent, other responsibilities, but I just got a promotion. So now it's about to be back a little ridiculous. I don't have enough space for all my shoes. That's kind of what slowed me down too. It's like, I don't even have nowhere to put all these. And I give shoes away, like to friends and family often. Cause I don't like to see people with busted shoes. That's something that's personal for me. It's like everybody deserves nice shoes. The shoes aren't as expensive as people think. It's the space for me. I'm good at finding a good deal. I love outlets, and like I used to go to the Champs outlet back when it was in Macedonia and buy like 5 pairs of shoes at one time and everything, Adidas, Fila's, whatever. I was really, really into it. At one point I even had some Polo Converse like shoes, like Ralph Lauren shoes, like just anything somebody else I didn't see them wearing. I wanted those. Like when I see them, I haven't seen them on feet often. Oh yeah, I gotta have those because nobody else has them.
okay. Well, shout out to Cleveland. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I am a Cleveland to the heart, to the core. No matter where I end up, I'm always gonna rep Cleveland, and even more than Cleveland, Shaker Heights. Swear I'm from.
Okay, right next door, Warrensville for me. Warrensville.
Hey, fun fact: before I lived in Shaker, my family and we used to live on Walford. So,
I used to live on Wall.
yeah, from 1980 to 87, we lived at 4676 Walford.
Wow,
So
you literally was like in the same set of buildings, but we stayed there like the end of the 90s, early 2000s.
okay, yeah. So that was what I was about to ask you next. Was what area of Cleveland are you from, and where are you at now?
Actually still in Warrensville. I moved around, came back. Warrensville's home. It's like every time I move away, I end up moving back. All my family's close. it's, Warrensville is so small. It's like, it's a really home area. It's like everybody in the community's been here for a long time. My kids go to school, and some of my classmates are, teachers and other staff members at the school now. So it's really full circle for me to come back. And with all the changes that's happening, they have the new schools and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Great superintendent. He actually used to be my principal.
Oh, okay.
Just seeing the city is really turning around out here. Is booming. And I'm glad to still be a member of the community.
One thing I used to like when Randall was still there was, North Randall is even smaller. It's really only a couple blocks, a couple apartment buildings,
Right.
but it was kind of like an extension. It was like an extension of Warrensville. Because how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, so you was.
So I was there towards the middle, kind of the beginning of the end of Randall. So I know about all the activities and stuff that used to happen at the mall.
Yeah.
The high schools performing and all of that. And I remember vividly when the Magic Johnson Theater opened. Right?
Yeah, I met Magic there.
My mom met Magic there too. So
yeah, it was a big deal. I was just saying how old you were because I don't know why I remember this, but in 1989, because the area of Warrensville, kind of like that Kings Highway, Sunset, like that area kind of off of Warrensville Center, Northfield, that used to be called Warrensville Heights Township. So it was Warrensville, but it was like separate, but still together. And then in 1990, they just made it all Warrensville. You know what I'm saying? But with that, like, it made Warrensville bigger, but it's still not that big. But it's someplace that, because I'm considering moving back because I'm getting divorced. So it's one of the places I would consider living if I decide to come back to Cleveland.
I mean, good luck finding a house out here because they don't sell. People don't really move. But
I've noticed.
Definitely. I always tell everybody I will always come.
Oh, I done lost your audio. I can't hear you. Okay.
I love it. It's a full circle. Like I said, it's full circle for me as a kid growing up out here because I lived in Warrensville, then I moved to St. Clair. It's like night and day. So when we came back, it was like, oh, thank goodness, it's breath of fresh air. Not saying nothing bad about St. Clair. It's just, it's big. It was a big neighborhood, and it wasn't as tight knit as Warrensville for me.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I've lived on Superior before. It depends on where you're at on those streets.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It depends on where you're at. But all right. So what? Damn. So that means that if you're 31 now, when I met you, you were like 21.
Yeah. Actually, the story behind the shoes, I was just looking for something nice. It was my first Mother's Day. I had just had my son. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I was about 21, 22. And I was just, I was actually getting back into buying shoes because I just had moved back. I went to school, came back. I was like, all right, now it's time to settle down, actually have my own space so I could, buy more unnecessary stuff.
Right.
And it hasn't stopped. Actually, during the pandemic, I was so bored. I was buying shoes like every other week. That's how I ended up with so many more now. And I haven't even worn everything that I have yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. By the end of the year, hopefully, I'll wear everything that I have at least once. I'm a firm believer in wear the shoes. Part of it is because of you. I see you post your shoes all the time, and they actually on your feet. I'm like, man, I know people that collect shoes and don't wear them. And, unfortunately, a friend of mine, they lost everything in a fire. Didn't even get a chance to wear over half of the shoes that they had.
That's too bad. Yeah, I'm a firm believer. I know people that do that too, where they just buy the shoes just to look at them, and that's nice, but I gotta wear them. I can't just, if I haven't worn them yet, either I don't have a fit that does them justice yet, or I just haven't got to them. I don't just buy, there are some shoes where I'm like, I need to have a double of this, but I'm still eventually going to wear that double. You know what I mean? So I can't buy shoes to look at them.
Yeah, I just wore my third pair of Oreo 5s this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that later in the show, but I'm going to put a pin to that. So what was like the next sneaker that solidified it where it's like, all right, I'm really into this shoe thing now. Like, I know you've been into them since you was young, but like, what was that next
man,
shoe?
not even gonna lie, when Nelly dropped Air Force Ones, because I was such a kid, I easily impressionable, and they got the video and all the shoes, and I remember I actually have the pair. They're buried somewhere, so I can't pull them out. But I remember walking through Tower City and walking through that Foot Locker, and they had a pair of pink and black mid-top Air Force Ones where the swoosh was like bubblegum pink. And I saw those, and I begged my mom for them. They did not have my size, and I cried. I'm like 10 years old crying over my shoe size not being available. And that's when it just hit me. It's like, I said, when I grow up, I'm about all the shoes, and I'm going to look for the shoes that I couldn't get. And that was one of the pairs that I actually did get. Like when eBay and stuff took off, and I just out of curiosity, just anytime I remember something from my childhood, I would buy it. Like I just bought a coloring book off eBay. I gotta show this. Bought the Space Jam coloring book. So that was it for me. It was the Air Force Ones, mid tops in particular. I wasn't a fan of the lows until I got older, and plus they kind of really didn't do the lows justice at the time. Like mid tops were the ones that you seen most of the colorways for.
I agree.
The lows really didn't have a whole lot going at the time, but now the lows, like I have more lows than mid tops right now.
Yeah, I feel like from 1999 until maybe about 2003, it was like mostly mids, some lows, and barely any highs. Now you've got a lot of highs in the marketplace now where you didn't have that before. It was just we'll throw out some sheets, and we might throw out a high in white and black and white and whatever. It's all about the mid. So
right
now you don't really see mids if they're not all white. Every now and then they'll come out with one, but
the last pair of mids I bought was all. I always keep a pair of all white and all black. Got to keep the all purposes, because you got stuff where I'm gonna wear my all black ones if I'm not sure about the terrain, because I'm big on keeping them clean.
I got you.
I gotta clean them before I put them back in the box, and if I know they're gonna get too dirty beyond repair, I'm gonna just go for the short thing. Go for my mids, black or white.
Got you. Yeah, no, I take that back. They have come out with a decent amount of mids. They've all been like old mids from the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, a lot of re-releases. Nothing is fun as the lows, because like I got the pair I got that glow in the dark. I haven't seen those yet in mids, and then it got the like the replaceable swoosh and everything.
Yeah.
I want to say they're called Have a Good Game.
Yeah.
Have a Good Game.
Yeah.
So with those, like that's a fun shoe. I could take the swoosh off, change the color, change the back tab. Got the part that go across the laces. Like that's a fun shoe. I like to have fun, and like I like when I'm going out. I know I'm very aware of what I'm wearing and how the kind of attention I'm going to get, and especially with having kids. Like I want to make sure I'm having fun. I keep my kids in fun shoes. I'm not that parent that goes, "Hey, I got Jordans, so you gotta have Jordans too." I do that for my daughter sometimes. The mommy and me thing. But if they want them Skechers that light up, now Skechers got an on and off button. Light up shoes ain't had that when we was little. I let them go ahead and rock them Skechers. It's all about their personality. And then with my personality, it's like I got the fun shoes. I got the bright colors, the pastels, the pinks and everything. That's my favorite color. And there's nothing stopping me from wearing that stuff. I work from home now, but even back when I worked in the office, we had a very laid back dress code. I could wear whatever I wanted. So that was literally the talk of the office, what shoes I got on today.
Now, I do want to give you, you're going to get a lot of flowers on this show, but I have to give you your props. One thing, all these years we've been following each other and knowing each other, I've never seen you look the same twice. You're like a lady of 1,000 looks. You know what I mean? So whoever you with, they don't know what they're going to get when they come home. It's like,
I try to mix it up, man. I wake up one day and I'm like, I'm bored with this look. I'm gonna do the next thing. You gotta experiment till you find your look, and your look changes too with where you are in life.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. I have to. I have to. You had that one look. It's a picture. You call it the fan favorite.
When I have on, that's my dad's wedding when I got the makeup and everything.
Yeah, and you got your hair. You know what I mean?
My hair short. Yeah.
I had to like do it. I was like, oh, that's T. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, props to you for being able to do that. You know, you're truly a lady that can do both. So, do you still get carded? I know you still get carded.
Oh yeah. Some places I know it's mandatory, but other places they're kind of like, I don't know. You know, they be looking at me. They even look at my ID twice and be like, "Man, is this even real?" I travel a bit, and they already skeptical of the ID if it's up from out of state. But I do. Someone recently didn't believe I had kids as old. Like my oldest is about to be 10 years old. They didn't believe I had a son that old. It's like, no, that's my son. I've been mixed in with the kids. Like I take walks around the neighborhood. So I just told somebody, I said the high school kids was eyeballing me like they wanted to fight. Like I don't know y'all. I am grown, man, and I'm not one of y'all. Being short doesn't help either. So
trust me, you know I fight that same fight. You know. Okay. Well, do you remember your first job and the first pair of shoes you bought was said job?
Yeah, actually I was working for RTA. My mom worked for RTA. They had a summer job program, and there were these. This is back when Fila had kind of had a little comeback, like 2006, and they had the what's the disruptor? Oh wait, are those the disruptors with the strap?
The strap around the ankle, kind of.
Yeah,
that's just the F13.
Okay, yeah. Either way, it was the red, black, and white pair of those.
Okay.
I just remember seeing them and they stood out because they were patent leather, red, black, and white. I was like, I gotta get those. And then I went back to the Champs outlet and they had the ones with fur, like they were suede, and they had Fila tennis shoes with fur in them. And this is before I ever even seen Nike do that. Actually, Fila was the first I had seen do that. And I was like, oh, this would be perfect. Instead of getting Tim's for the winter, like that's really when I started buying shoes for myself and just looking for something that was exotic, like that I seen nobody else with at school. Because, you know, when you in high school, some people are trendy. It's like, hey, I want this because everybody else has it. Me, I was the opposite. It's like, I got to do my own thing. I don't want to look like everybody else. I want to stand out. So it was those. They were red, black, and white, and I think I gave them to one of my sisters or something. I wore them for a long time too. That's kind of like my it's kind of like my signature shoe for a little while.
I wish I would have known you back in 2006 and 7 because that was when I was a manager at a place called CD Game Exchange. There was one in Maple, one in Sugar.
I used to go to that one.
You know, so I was a manager there from like 02 to 08, but on the side, I worked for Foot Locker like 3 different times the whole time I worked there. So I used to work at the Champs in Tower City in 2006 and 7 on the side. And that Fila F13, I have a love-hate relationship with it only because, you know, you've been to Champs in Tower City. You know, it's a bigger store. It's a lot of apparel in it. So we used to literally have like 40 pairs, 40 different colorways of that shoe. And it used to be a bitch looking for them because Fila would put the description so small where you really have to get on it. And we had like 5 different versions of just the white. We had white perforated, white leather, white patent leather, white with the camo. Just it was so many of them. I'm like, I hate this shoe. But I do own it. I have the white, blue, and red like the classic. Right before we moved down here in 20, I was working for Foot Locker again, this time at Richmond, and we had those shoes for $4.99. So I had to get them.
Wow.
Because I don't know if you ever been to the Foot Locker at Richmond post 2016, 17, but it was like part outlet.
So the one in Richmond. So before I don't think so.
Yeah, it was like part outlet, part regular. So we used to still get the releases, but we would get like shit from Detroit and shit from other markets that it just didn't sell there. And we used to have the Dope Man Filas, $4.99. We had that many of them where we had to just So I got a
Then I
red pair. Oh, go ahead.
wish I knew, because I was working. Actually, I was working in Richmond at the time. I was working at the bank.
Yeah, because this was late 19, early 20, right before the shutdown. We had a lot of stuff in there for like dirt, like, and then
I
after,
wish I would have went through, because I went in there, but when I finally did make it to go through there, when I realized it was closing, like everything was pretty much gone.
yeah, because the mall was in such bad shape that everybody else opened up on May 30th from the shutdown. We didn't open up until like after 4th of July because the mall was it was that bad of shape, and everything was on sale after we opened back up because we had been closed so long. So
And
yeah,
I wasn't even thinking about no shoes at that time. Like,
I don't think anybody was.
right. They turning that into luxury apartments now. I drove past a couple weeks ago, saw the sign. They're gonna tear it down and rebuild some luxury apartments. Yep.
All right.
That's why I was like, I'm like, whatever, man. I mean, if you think about what's a little further down the street, it kind of makes sense because they do got the newer housing complexes that they built off in the cut over there, so it kind of makes sense.
Like, I would, if I were me now, my son's 14, about to be 15. Like, he's in high school, but like Richmond school district isn't even that good. Like,
I don't hear
that kind of money.
nothing about it, and that's kind of a red flag. Like, you don't hear anything bad, you don't hear anything good. It's like, I don't know anybody personally that goes either, and they don't make headlines for anything at all. So
yeah. Well, you went to Warrensville, so it means you got out in what, 09, 10, something like
10.
that? 10, okay. Okay. Now, I always say that was kind of a weird time for sneakers because there weren't many retros after 07 until 10. You had the countdown packs, you had a lot of Blazers, a lot of Dunks, not really a lot of Forces. Tim's wasn't really hot no more. It was a weird time.
Yeah,
Everybody
it was like
because
the skateboard backpack era was, and the jerks and all of that. That was around our time, and the focus really wasn't on Jordans. When I think about what everybody was wearing, Warrensville in particular, with it being so small, like you could see the trendy stuff, but there was still a lot of people that were just, I don't like to use the word normal, but it wasn't nothing super special about the shoe game in Warrensville. It's like, you always got the kids that got all the latest, and then you got the kids with the random stuff. That's me. That's like, where'd you get that? Like, is this new? Is this old? Like, no, it's the shoe that I saw in the store that I like, and I'm gonna wear it. Yeah. It was a time. It was more of an experimental time, really. Yeah. People were moving from sticking with just the big brands. We had the chunky sneakers, the knee highs, which I have a pair of Missy's knee high. I actually got them right here, so I can show y'all. I'm gonna grab them in a second, because those came out when I was in high school, but I had the low tops, and somebody unfortunately stole my low tops because I had those, and those were like, for starters, is Missy. Like, Missy's my idol, so I'm like, I'm gonna buy whatever Missy name on, and like, I don't care if Missy Adidas it was great, but it was such a strange time because I didn't feel like I was singled out for the shoes that I wore. It's like people were actually interested instead of teasing me. You know what I mean? It's like Jordans were still a thing. I have a cousin that has even more shoes than me, but she's very private. I doubt she would. I will beg her to do this show because I tell you, her collection is amazing, way better than mine. But she was always with the latest Jordans, but I felt like the colorways weren't vivid enough for me. Everything was the traditional red, black, and white. Not a whole lot of colorways at the time. The sevens had a hot moment where they had the different colors, like they had the citrus, which came back. I'm actually about to buy a pair of those for my celebration, for my promotion. I'm gonna cop some citrus and the citrus sevens and the denim ones. Those are going to be my next cops, but I do remember those had a little run around the time, but there wasn't a shoe that stood out. Except Bates, like nobody had a pair because they were so expensive. I just remember like that was like the shoe that we would always like look up online when we wanted to see pictures, like Babe And ice cream was a big deal, but I don't know anybody personally that had a pair of Bapes at the time. It was weird. It was kind of the um like the skateboard era, backpack era had us wearing dunks, and I had a pair of pink and black dunks. Actually, my ex bought me those. I didn't even buy them for myself. My ex bought them for me for Valentine's Day, and I wore those out. Love those shoes. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I wanted any Jordans at the time. I can't remember a pair that I had at that time because they just weren't hitting as hard.
And there weren't
for
as
me.
many.
For me, other people was really into them still, but for me, it was like I need more color. I need more variety.
Well, if you remember, after the countdown packs, they were supposed to slow down on retros, so there weren't many retros in 09 until like the end.
Yeah, I remember seeing the ones in the store, like, back before, what are those? Like, that was actually what we were saying. Like, we in the mall looking for new clothes, and we like, what is a Jordan 27? Like, what is that? Like, why does this look like this? Where are the retros? They wasn't around.
And you got to remember, too, during your era of high school, the Fusions were really big, too.
Yeah, I got a pair of Fusions. I do. I have a pair of the 12s, Air Force 112s. The black and white one.
Got to give you some more roses. I saw what you did with that baby fat, them 6 rings. I seen that. But see, a lot of people don't realize how old the 6 rings is. The 6 rings has been coming out since 2008.
They got so much hate, and I never understood why. I didn't buy them when they first came out because, like I said, it's red, black, and white. Not really my colorway. I think they had maybe some blue ones. But when I saw those online, I said, I bought them before I bought the dress. I told my mom, I'm like, I'm going to buy something that can fit this because this is one of my favorite colors. And when I put that together, it's like I told y'all the 6 rings could work. I don't know why the 6 rings get so much hate. 6 rings is probably one of my favorite fusions. The other one, the 617 23s. Okay. 617 23s is another fusion one I like. You're right. At that time, it was a lot of fusions.
Son of Mars.
So I got a pair of Son of Mars, and this is all stuff that I bought after high school because then they start introducing, and I wear kid sizes. Mm-hmm. So, I'm definitely gonna get the pink and purple joints because I could fit them, and I'm looking for those colors too because I like the bright colors. I like the purples and the oranges and the pinks.
I know they've kind of moved away from Jordan stuff being on Nike ID. It's just Converse and
yeah, that hurt.
You used to make Spizz Hikes, but they never put the 6 rings up where you were able to make it. I always thought that would have been cool because unbeknownst to a lot of people, I only have one pair, but I have a pair of 6 rings. They're from 2009. The Michael Jordan.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people will try to. It's people that kind of go overboard with it, but I have a pair when Michael Jordan went in the Hall of Fame in 2009. They had a 6 rings, a Jordan 1, and a Jordan 2009. And I didn't really want the 6 rings, but I wanted a shoe to commemorate the Hall of Fame, and I couldn't get the other two, so I got that one.
Gotcha.
I can't remember the last time I've worn it. It's been years, probably more than 10, but I do own a pair of 6 rings.
I feel like with the 6 rings, it gotta be the right colorway. Some of the colorways really do make the shoe ugly because it got those dots in the patent leather and it stick out when that part is like the recent pair that came out is pink and white. Mm-hmm. I don't really care for those, but mine is black at that part where it's pink. The ones with the baby fat jersey dress, and I felt like too with that because of the time the shoe came out, jersey dresses were hot. It was just one of those things that it came together by itself, just me naturally looking for older stuff because baby fat has had a couple of comebacks actually, but all my baby fat stuff is from when they came back with Macy's about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like I just be browsing, Facebook advertisements always popping up with clothes and shoes because, they watching us. They know what we into. Every time I mention Jordan, here come a sneaker advertisement and with the clothes and everything. And I'm really into the 90s and early 2000s when I go out and put my outfits together. That's stuff that I look for.
Yeah. See, I feel like these companies owe me some money because before they started coming back with these stores, I was doing it in 2016 and 17. I was looking for non-elaborate urban clothes at thrift stores to wear with
Yeah.
current mesh it together. And now you see FUBU at Forever 21, Fat Farm at Forever
Yep,
21,
because I got
Macy's Baby Fat.
Juicy and Forever 21. I'm like, dad, man.
Cause
But legit, I see my baby brother just joined. What's up, Booyard? Baby Booyard.
like, man, I was doing this years ago. I wore a FUBU jersey to next. I'll never forget saying the oldest thing. What are you doing? And I'm like, it's just.
See, me and you, we think the same. If it's fly, if it was fly in the past, I guarantee you it's fly right now. You just gotta be willing to wear it. You gotta be willing to wear it. You gotta know what you can and can't pull off. Cause I got an Applejack hat and a jean jacket. I got a jumper. Mm-hmm. This is all pieces that, like, this is stuff that remind me of my childhood. This is stuff that either I did wear as a kid, or I wanted to wear. But you know, as a kid, you're gonna wear what your parents buy you.
Right.
It's like stuff that I actually really wanted and either had or missed out on when it was hot. Like, who gonna stop me now? Like,
like at Coventry, I had a little more leeway because it was Coventry when I had that store. But I wore a Heart and Soul hat backwards, a red FUBU jersey with the white 05. I think I had on some cargo shorts, and I had on the white and red, the cherry 12s. Because that jersey, that's 1997 to me. That's 11.
And it works. It works, especially when you actually know the time period. Mm-hmm. It's like when I wear my Applejack hat, I have some Timbs that kind of look like combat boots. Right. I wear them with that because at the time when that stuff came out, that's what we was wearing together. Mm-hmm. Like when I wear my bucket hat, I usually I have a ton of bucket hats, and I usually wear them with Air Force Ones. Yeah, like that's stuff that go together that younger generations might not realize it until they somehow watching old videos or old TV shows or something, then they realize, oh, that was fashion back then. And it's still fashion now. It works. Like fashion is in cycles. My grandma used to tell me that. I remember when bootcut jeans came back, my grandma was like, them ain't nothing but bell bottoms. And now looking at the pictures, I'm like, she right. They basically bell bottoms. Yeah. It's all a cycle.
Yeah, but it would be funny to me, though, with some kids, they kind of get the eras mixed up where they'll wear a FUBU jersey, but they'll wear it with like a flat top. And I'm like, nah, see, you mixing
Nah.
Can't do that.
No.
Man,
if you're going to wear a FUBU jersey, you need to find your craziest hat that you got. You got to, that ain't high top haircut. Like, if you got you some cross colors, all right.
Some Carl Kanai.
Right. Get you that high top.
Yeah.
Like, just knowing, you got a throwback jersey on, put some braids in, you got long enough hair. Mm-hmm. Your hair ain't long enough, you better get them brush waves popping.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I wore my Magic throwback jersey the day before yesterday, and I wore like some straight leg jeans. Mm-hmm. And I never wear straight leg jeans with Converse. I was miserable for the whole day because my thought process, I'm like, well, the jersey long, so I'm gonna wear some bigger pants, and it didn't hit like I wanted it to, and I'm like, man, I should have still wore tapered jeans because I know wide legs are coming back, but I can't do it.
I don't have that problem. I did recently, though. I have one pair of straight leg jeans, and I wore them with my 12s. And I like how I tried it on before I left the house, and I looked in the mirror for a long time, like, do I want to wear these? Because these, like, this pair of straight legs I got is just a pair of jeans. Just how you got your clothes you don't really go out in. I just bought them because they was on sale at the time I was buying some other jeans. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to make these work. And I figured out the shoe now. All right, these work with the 12s. Yeah. But it literally won't work with any other pair of shoes that I got. Maybe the 13s.
Yeah. What's up, Shano? I'm going to have to get with you next time on this one, man. But yeah, man, it's good to see. I love your style. I've always loved your style and the way you do things, props to you once again. It's going to be a lot of roses on this show. So, no problem. So as we go to the halftime portion, because we've kind of covered first and second quarter. Usually during halftime, I do either or questions. Since we're both from Cleveland, and I'm probably one of the only dudes from Cleveland that moved away and miss it. So I'm actually going to be in Cleveland from the 21st through the 26th. So very shortly, in a little more than a week. But I'm gonna start off with a Cleveland question.
Okay.
So, if you could bring back Randall Mall or Geauga Lake, would you bring it back?
Ooh, At this point, I gotta say Geauga Lake, only because we got the internet now, and look, I got a car now. I'm an adult with a car. I used to walk to Randall Park Mall. I fell down one of the hills going to Randall.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to say Geauga Lake because it's nothing close like that for me to take my kids to do. I ain't even take them to Disney yet. I'm kind of waiting until they're a little older. It's like, hey, man, there's these things called roller coasters, and y'all got to ride them all, because back when Geauga Lake was the deal, we went like every year. I had an aunt that worked at Cleveland Clinic. We used to get them cheap tickets. Mm-hmm. We go every year. And one of the best parts of my life was when I was finally tall enough to ride every single ride. My mom took me and my brother. When I say we rode every single ride, we did. That's not something that my kids have experienced yet. So I would definitely bring back Geauga Lake. We need something like that in this area. The closest thing is Cedar Point. That's 2 hours away. That's a ways away from here.
I don't think it's 2 hours.
Nice.
Like an hour and a
It
half.
feel like 2 hours when you run into that traffic right before you get there.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. So, shoe-wise, if you could only have either UNC colorways or bread colorways on the shoe, what you picking?
Probably the breads. Just because that's mostly what's in my closet.
Okay.
That I could get away with wearing that. UNC can't get away with what I got.
Okay. So, with you being from Warrensville, you graduated from your Tiger. So, who do y'all hate more between us being Shaker, and Cleveland Heights? Who do y'all hate more?
Wow. Actually, when I was there, we hated Shaw. So
really, more than Shaker and Cleveland Heights.
Yeah, we the Shaker and Heights rival really wasn't a thing.
See, it was
Shaw was not when I was there. For us, it was Shaw.
Okay. Yeah, like okay. Our biggest rival was Cleveland Heights, but y'all were like right up under it, as far as, with sports and just in general, niggas from Warrensville would try to fight.
My brother just said, Maple and Shaw, with Maple being so close. And my dad actually lived in Maple. So I would be in Maple sometime, at Stafford Park and all of that. And yeah, Shaw was the irony with Shaw being our rivals is it was a friendly rival, and it was mostly the band. I was not a band member, but I was always with the band. My boyfriend at the time and my cousin were with the band. So whenever the band was doing something, I was with the band, and like Shaw was our rival. Shaker, we did actually battle Shaker after one of the football games, and we won, of course. And it was respect. Oh, trust me, you ain't want to see the Warrensville Tigers. We even won the battle of the bands. At the time, our band was down to a C class, and we still won. Warrensville's always been there with the band. I remember as a kid, though, it was Warrensville versus Kennedy. And I was torn because I was living in Cleveland for a hot second. So, I was rooting for Kennedy and then moved to Warrensville. And it's like, dag, don't ask me to pick sides. I'm just here for the show.
Now, my dad went to Kennedy. He's a part of their alum. He's one of the people that sets up their picnic that they have, the all-class picnic. So I've been hearing about how great Kennedy has been for over 40 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Kennedy used to perform at my elementary school. When I went to school in Cleveland, when we had our pep rallies, they would have Kennedy do our pep rallies. Like, and this would be like rallies for like the proficiency tests and stuff, because it's, you know, elementary school.
Yeah.
And for a treat, you know, oh, you get to see the band perform. We like, what band? And they're like, Kennedy. And we're like, okay, you know, because we're in elementary school. We don't know what's going on. Then as I got older, I'm like, oh, this is a big deal. Because I even remember when Randall used to have high school bands performing Randall some weekends. And Kennedy was always, yeah, Kennedy was always, like, we would get excited if it was Kennedy. Other bands, we kind of like, I don't know, we might go shop. But we see Kennedy pull up, we like, oh, we gonna wait for the band to do their thing before we go shop. And actually, one of my cousins that just popped up in the chat here, she used to be at the mall with me. I used to go with her. My favorite big cuz popped up.
Okay, how you doing? Now, again, I'm Shaker through and through, but I did live in Warrensville first, so Warrensville always have a special place in my heart. I did go to John Dewey for kindergarten in 1986, way back when. So, you know, but yeah. So yeah, Warrensville, Wofford in general. And again, it's some place like if I could find a house on Lawrence or Shermer or some street like that, kind of.
Yeah, in the maze. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
either there or off Warrensville Center, and you know, going towards Shaker.
Yeah, like
that'd be ideal.
Shakerwood or Gladstone, one of those kind of streets.
Yep.
Halifax.
Mm-hmm. That's actually where I take my morning walk. So if y'all see me and I be walking, that's me exercising over there.
Listen, I do want to say it's weird the way Northfield is now, since it doesn't just connect to Van Aiken anymore. Now, I was still living there when they did that, but it's not the same. It's weird.
I prefer that. Learning how to drive that old intersection gave me anxiety. When I first started driving, it's 6 lanes and you could turn in 2 of them the same direction, but the other one you got an option to turn the other way. And you know, when you first get your license and driving through something like that,
yeah.
And I used to go to that Target all the time, and then I got family that stay off Kinsman, so and then going to that Giant Eagle on Chagrin is like that intersection was like every time I came to it, you know, you okay, all right, I could do this. I'm actually glad that they changed it. I feel a lot safer. It doesn't induce my anxiety anymore. I prefer a roundabout.
It's just weird, man. It's just a regular intersection now.
It is weird though, when I think about it. And you haven't been out. When's the last time you've been out here?
I was there in December.
Okay, you seen how much they changed that plaza over there too. Like that's a lot. That is so much. It's not the same at all.
Yeah,
but I like it though.
Because again, I've only been gone since 20, so all of that was built up, but it's not Shaker. Like it is, but it isn't.
It has a weird vibe. I know what you mean by saying it's not Shaker. It's like
I'd rather just go to.
I'm getting used to it. Shit. Look, I'm getting used to it because it's like I see what they're trying to do, but I mean it's mostly just restaurants now, and you're only gonna eat at a certain place so many times.
They do have some good food in there. It's a restaurant called Brassica that's pretty good, and because I was
really feeling Domo, the sushi spot, but they recently closed. And when I tell you I was sad, like I used to go there like once a week, and then I go into DoorDash and they didn't pop up, so I just figured I'd drive over there, and they gone, man. I'm like, dang.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing I miss. I miss Piata. There's no Piatas down here.
Wow. No. Man, I thought Piata was wow. Well, you definitely. I mean, there's one now by Tri-C, one in University. So
yeah. Whenever I come back, like when I came in December, because it was for my birthday. You know, my birthday is December 2nd. Like, I got there on the 1st, you know, and I was cool or whatever. When I woke up on my birthday, I was sick as fuck. I couldn't do nothing. Like, I had a sinus infection. It was like my body forgot how the Cleveland air is, and I was in bed for most of the day. My ex took me to a Cavs game, and that was like the only fun I had other than seeing my parents and my sister the whole trip, because I was just sick drinking tea for like 4 days. And I'm like, man, I was glad to see them and a few of my friends, but I didn't get to see nearly everybody I wanted to see, because I was just in my hotel room for most of the time sick. But when I come up there week after next, or week after, you know, I'm trying to see everybody. I'm trying to see you. You know,
all right.
T, where you at?
I'm gonna be. Look, I'm gonna be in Columbus half that time though, so we're gonna have to be towards the end.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Columbus that weekend, but definitely, if I'm free, we could definitely link.
Now,
you know what I do miss being from Cleveland? Hot Sauce Williams.
Yeah,
they all gone
heard
now.
that they closed all of them. That hurts.
That hurt.
It was the only place I could get a shoulder sandwich and it'd be decent.
I used to get my Polish boys from there, only there. I can't eat them from nowhere. I actually have not had one in years because I'm afraid. I had Whitmore's chicken a couple months ago actually, and I was so disappointed.
It's just not.
I was like, what is this? This is terrible.
Yeah, Whitmore.
I don't eat B&M's no more. B&M's don't taste the same. B&M's got big and went commercial and just like, nah, it's not the same. Hot Sauce Williams was always a sure thing. And you said the soldier sandwich, that was actually something I get my grandma. Every birthday. I would go up there, and that's how I found out they was closed for good, because her birthday came around, and I went up there, and I called her. I was like, Grandma, I don't even know what to get you, because I can't get you a shoulder sandwich. This sign said they closed permanently. Like, that one hurt. That's something I would bring back if I could.
That one on Lee Road, like, I used to go there all the time.
That's the one I used to go to. Even when I got my first job, that was like my thing. Every payday, I go get me 3 wings and some fries with some sauce. Every payday.
They had good ass juice, and it just said Williams on the bottle, and it was in the Hot Sauce Williams font.
Yeah,
it was like really good Kool-Aid, but it was better than Kool-Aid. Like, I don't know what that was, but
to go there so much. I remember when they had a jukebox in there when I was little. When they started putting CDs in the jukebox. Back when my mommy and my daddy were still together. Daddy, can I get a quarter for the jukebox?
I remember that jukebox. I remember that.
Yeah, that was my spot.
So, lineup or raffle?
You know, I've actually never stood in line.
Okay.
So
I've never camped out for a shoe because I've always been the guy that was opening the store. I never got to actually.
Right. And then I just started lining up for a shoe. It was ridiculous. And I've been lucky when I did go in person to get my shoes all the time. Last time I went in the Jimmy Jazz in Richmond. They had the metallic 5s still in my size. Got the last pair. I was always like, yeah, we got 1 pair left in that size. 2 pair. Always been lucky. I never lined up. So I guess I'm going to go with raffle.
Okay.
Even though, with the raffle, it's like instant gratification. You know if you got it, and then if you didn't got it, right then and there. Versus if you waited in line 2-3 hours and you get up there and got your size, like that's time wasted for me. I need to know right then and there if I got the shoe or not.
Right. What size do you wear?
I wear 7 in kids, so in women's I wear 8.5, 9. It depends on the toe box really, because I've even worn 6.5.
Okay. Yeah, that metallic 5 was interesting the last time. We talking about the black metallic?
The white metallic.
White metallic. Okay. 2015. I got you. Yeah, 5s are interesting because they either fly or they just sit forever.
The 5s are my favorite Jordan, and you right though, because some of them I'm like, why would they do this? And others, I have. I don't know how many I have in particular. I think about 7 or 8, but this pair right here, this is the one colorway I wish they would re-release. Now these is from 2006. Seen these and I just had to have them. My shot pinks. Can't wear them anymore.
Now listen, that's happened to a lot of my 5s from that set.
Got you.
My olives, my grapes,
and it's just the midsole too. That's what drives me crazy. This is still completely intact. Right here, straight popcorn.
The only reason why I think my pair of those is still intact is because I have like 1 million silica packs in the box.
I started doing that. Silica packs, plastic bags, leave them in the box.
Mm-hmm.
But this pair, you see, this is a well-loved pair.
I thought they might bring them back because you remember when they came out, it was those and the green beans on the same day.
Yeah.
And they, even though they didn't sell well, and I knew that they weren't, I was like, well, maybe they'll bring back the shot pinks if they bring back the green beans.
Man, I every time when I see a 5 release, I'd be like, shot pinks. They had them Easter joints like 2 years ago, and I'm like, these remind me of the shot pinks, but they don't hit the same because that weird ass green. I'm like, if that sole was icy, I would get them, but they got that weird mint green. It's like the shoe like pink and blue, and then it got mint green in it. Like, nah, that don't work for me.
Yeah, like my estranged wife, she had bought a pair, and I'm like, man, you ain't gonna never wear them bitches. I remember talking about, man, you never gonna wear them. How you know you got this? You ain't never gonna wear them bitches. You know,
because it's like you gotta. That's too risky of a shoe because it's not supposed to be a risky shoe. It's like I have some Shadow Air Force Ones I intentionally bought because they ugly as hell. I said, this is what's gonna make this work because none of these colors match. The whole shoe is ugly. With the 5, it's like it looks real good until you see that sole with that weird. I don't even know what color green they call that, but it throws off the whole shoe. If it wasn't for that, I would have copped.
If they would have just been regular netting with the clear, they'd have been all right.
No, you know? I would have bought those because it'll be like they're literally just like the Shy Pinks but reversed. Like I would have bought those.
Yeah. Or they could have just brought back the Shy Pinks.
They could just bring back the Shy Pinks, and I would buy 2. That's one shoe I always said if they come back, I am buying 2 pairs.
Yeah, I would
because I love them that much.
I don't know if I'd buy 2, but I would definitely get another pair.
I wore these a lot. Like I was so heartbroken when the soles started going. I'm like, I'm at work, I'm walking into the building. I'm like, did I step in something? And I look at my shoe. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like. I can't wear them no more, and you see the sole is the only problem. The rest of the shoe clean as hell. Like I clean them a lot. Like these are my babies, and I haven't found a donor. So it's like it's hard to find. Ain't nothing got that sole with the pink in it. It's like even if I get the Wolf Grays, I would have to get the pink painted, and then ain't no way I'm getting the on the bottom sole. Ain't no way I'm getting the pink Jumpman.
And see with the Wolf Grays, the whole bottom is translucent. It's the only 5 like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm worried about them. I'm like, all right, these are a little newer. They're from 2011, but yeah, the my Olive 5s, my Stealth 5s, my
because I got
07
the Belairs. Those is not even translucent. Those, let me see.
Yeah, like
because what the Oreos are, but the Jumpman black.
Yeah. Now, we'll just jump into current sneaker culture as it is Q3. Why do you have 3 pairs of Oreo 5s?
Because you can, like, black and white is one of my default colorways. And I love it's such a simple shoe. Like, you look at it and it's a simple shoe, but it still pop because they put the white in the right places. It's subtle. It's not like, I don't know. It's like the other black and white Jordans don't really do it for me, except maybe the ones. All the other ones that have been released that's been black and white, it just hasn't been a good mix for me. It's like a perfect balance between black and white. And I wear white a lot. Like I got a white jean jacket. Like I mean, people got a white jean jacket. I got a white bucket hat. I got like 5 pairs of white jeans, and I always loved to wear them with the Oreo 5s. I have no idea why. I had 2 pairs of the ones when they released in 2013, and then I got a pair last year when they released.
Okay. So all right, it's multiple releases. It's not just all. Okay.
It's not. I didn't just buy 3 at once. No, I ain't buy 3 at once. I got the 2013s, and then I bought a second pair, which you know, that's the risk of buying off eBay. They supposed to be unworn. I'm like, man, you definitely wore these, but I'll keep them in a box. So those are like, I coach baseball. So I got shoes I get dirty. So I got my really old pair that has no grip on the bottom. I got the second pair. They still in good shape. I wear them like every once in a while. Like if I'm going to the store, to the West Side Market, you know, it's dirty as hell in the West Side Market.
Yeah.
And I, you know, if I want to wear something nice, but not, you know, I wear those. And then of course I got the fresh pair for, you know, recent stuff. That was just one of the shoes, one of the moments where they re-released it and I got through the raffle.
Yeah. Like, I bought a pair of green beans because I can still wear my 06 green bean somehow. But I know that it's only a matter of time. So I bought the newer pair because they were just there and, you know.
Yeah, once to rock, once to stock. That's the dream right there.
Yeah.
Well, the real dream is for the shoes to never deteriorate ever.
Yeah.
You got to be real here. You know, they change whatever they made out of. It is what it is, unfortunately.
I'm not a fan of the Oreo 5. I didn't like them when I was in
Really?
Power City. I didn't like them last year whenever they came out. And then what was weird was when they came out in 13, they gave us all of this apparel that went with it, and it was white and brown because it was supposed to be like
What?
an Oreo. The shirt we had, the shirt that went with it, it was a 5, and it was coming apart like a cookie, but it was brown. It didn't go with the shoe at all.
I remember those shirts.
Yeah, we had a million of them at times.
Because I used to walk through Tower City to go to, you know, that's where I met you at, Tower City.
Yeah.
I used to be in Tower City all the time because I used to work in the steel yard. So, and I was on the bus back then, so stop in Tower City, get some lunch before or after work. And I remember all of them shirts. I ain't buy not one of them shirts to match some Oreo 5s when they first came out. I actually bought all my shirts from Target. All the black and white shirts that I wore back then with them Oreo 5. The shirts at Target matched better.
I believe we got those. We had so many of those shirts. They went down to like $4.99.
I was about to say, I remember they went on sale like real cheap, and I still ain't buy none because I was just not. They were corny, man. Some of the Jordan shirts are just not like they tried too hard.
Yeah,
you didn't have to try that hard.
I tried. I was like, well, maybe it'll go with the burgundy 5s, but it didn't even go with the burgundy 5s. You know, I tried it.
Nope.
I was like, I'm spread them with that. It didn't even go. But yeah, we had like 10 shirts in each size. Like it was so many of them. But yeah, I don't know. It's the weakest Black Friday Jordan ever. No disrespect. I know you like it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never liked it. Never been able to get with it. I don't know. And I love the 5. I mean,
I'll put it this way. It's not my number one favorite.
Nah,
you know, my number one favorite is the Shot Pinks.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the 5s that I own, actually, they probably are the least favorite of because I have, for what I have right now, I have these. I kind of lumped the Son of Mars in with the 5s because they're, you know, that's really the base of it.
Mm-hmm.
I got those. I got the Bel Airs. I have the I got the white Bel Airs. I haven't even wore these babies yet. I got a matching hat too. I'm just waiting on the right time. I love these so much. Yeah, they've been in the box for like when did these come out? Like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Still ain't worn them yet. Planning on wearing them this summer. I'm not gonna get that corny jersey though. I seen somebody with it on in person, and it's like I can't do that. I need to get something different.
That's a very you shoe. I feel like I can say that. It's a very you shoe. You know, like it says, nice.
I got some. Wait till you see what I do with the laces, because they came with some green laces, and that inspired me not to wear the green laces. Like I'm gonna get some different laces.
Yeah.
So
now, what's been the hardest L you've taken, shoe that you wanted since the pandemic?
The hardest L. Well, thanks to. Actually, the hardest L since the pandemic was going to be my gold rings, but I got them, the gold hoops. Actually, I bought them. I bought these off of either. Actually, does StockX. So this was going to be the hardest L, but I decided for my birthday, I'm gonna just look. It was only a $50 markup. I could do that.
Yeah.
Haven't worn these yet either. Waiting on the perfect time. It's gonna be this summer though, because I was supposed to wear these in Miami, but it kept raining. When I went to Miami for my birthday that year, I brought them with me. I remember we were super excited, and it kept raining. I was like, I'm not doing that. Rain and sand on the first. No, absolutely not. So at first this was the hardest L, but you know, birthday came around, got me a nice little bonus at the job. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go on StockX now. Them denim ones. That's the one that I heard. I still don't have those yet because the markup on that, I haven't seen a markup that's justifiable. But I want
the ones with the earring.
The denim ones. Oh wait, you said with the earrings?
With the earring.
Yeah. On the lace, yeah.
Okay.
Like those are so me. Those are so me, and it's like, bruh. I've seen them in person, and I've hate what everybody have worn with them. It's like, y'all I'm not doing it right. Either y'all got too much denim or you just got on the shoe and there's no theme to your outfit. Which, that's what they want to wear, but that's not for me. It's like when I get those, that's going to probably be one that sit on the shelf for a while until I find the perfect outfit. But I definitely want those because I actually took a break. I haven't bought any shoes since last April. So I took a little break because I was, like I said, I'm running out of space. Got a tiny space right now. And I was just like, I need to stop. I need to stop buying clothes.
Just get your little storage unit. Ain't nothing.
I'm trying not to spend excessive money because, like, I'm house hunting. Okay. So I'm like, I'm pitching pennies everywhere because, once I buy a house, I'm going to have a room that is my office and my closet because I have that many clothes. Plan to have that many more shoes. Because part of what I like to do too is I like to buy older shoes, like shoes that I remember wanting when I was younger, but didn't get them for whatever reason. And now that we have like Gold and StockX and eBay, I just be on there sometimes just putting in colorways, names of shoes I remember, and then like weird things like stuff come back. Like I got a pair of Grant Hill 2s, like they rose gold. And I'm like, Fila, why'd you guys? I don't care why they re-released it, but I'm just like, yo, like y'all actually brought these back. Like I'm gonna buy them because I want them, and I have my own money, and nobody can tell me not to. And so a whole lot of that. But I'm trying to be a fiscally responsible adult.
It's hard.
But it's hard because when I go out, I pick my shoes before I pick my outfit most of the time.
That's how you got to do it, man.
It's like
it all depends.
Like these shoes.
It all starts with the shoe, and it's and to me, some days are better than others. But I like for my outfit to tell a story or for it to coincide to where, somebody might be like, yeah, he really put thought into that.
Yeah. And it's weird because I don't consider myself like a flashy person. But when I'm out, it's like I kind of expect now to get compliments on my outfits. Like when I'm actually intentionally wearing nice stuff, and it usually starts with the shoes. It's like, even way back when, I remember when I was younger and I like starting to date and stuff, like dudes, the first thing they would notice was my shoes. It's like, I was like, oh, dudes really like shoes. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I got nice shoes. And like back when I love the Griffey Max ones.
Mm-hmm.
I vividly remember this guy like, oh, we got the same shoes. I even had the Flight 45 boots. This guy's like, oh, we got the same shoes. Like mine will just be most of the time pink, and theirs would be, whatever, like red or something.
Right.
And just thinking about that versus, where I'm at now, I got on shoes that's 5-6 years old. People are like, where'd you get those from? I've never seen those before. It's like, no, you probably seen them and just forgot about them. These are old. These aren't brand new, or even if they are that old, that may be my first time wearing them.
Right.
And then, like, my family knows I love shoes. Shout out to if my brother's still here, thank you, baby bro, because he picked these out for me. I have a pair of City Hoops. You know what those are? Them fat laces and when I wear those, everybody, what are those? Where'd you get those from? It's like I can't even tell you because they was a gift, but I mean, like it's like the shoes really pop, and that's something for me too. When I see other people with shoes and their exotic shoes, something you don't always see. That's something that draws me into that person. Like what inspired you to get those? Like, were these just a gift and just wearing them just cause? Or do you really like shoes? Do you really know, the history behind that shoe? Or maybe you just seen it and you just liked it. It's always a conversation starter for me when it comes to shoes. Because I'm not that kind of person either to, how you get into these sneaker chat groups and it's all about Jordans and they don't like anything else and they try to make you feel weird for wearing anything else if it's not the latest shoe out. What's wrong with Converses? What's wrong with Adidas?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
This whole room is just Converses. This whole room.
See? I used to look, and like once again, I had pink and black Chucks in high school. Everybody knew the man when that's you asked about that time when I was in high school, it was Chucks. Chucks were the number one shoe. Everybody had at least 2 pairs of Chucks. Mm-hmm. You got your standard black and white, and then you got whatever your favorite color is. Everybody had Chucks, come to think of it. That was the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot, I'm been looking at them. I want some of the ones with the fat soles. I've been thinking about getting those. Like, could probably make those work.
The Run Star Hike or the Run Star Motion?
Yeah, they look comfortable. So,
Let me see.
no, I'll probably buy some. I've been thinking about like Vans lately because Vans keep popping up on my advertisements. I have never had a pair of Vans.
Really?
Really.
Hmm.
And it's not that I don't like them. It's just they just was not really on my radar. You know what I mean? Yeah, those. Yeah, those. I want something like those. And I
see what I love. What I love about stuff like that is most dudes are afraid of stuff like that, or they think they just for girls, and it's unisex. I mean, Converse is my employer, so yeah, I'm gonna wear it because it's my employer, but I like it, and I wear it because I'm gonna say something that may offend some people, but every short, fat, bald dude with a beard dresses the same. We all dress the same. We all wear the same Jordans, same sweatsuits, same polo shirts, same hats, same fitteds. So the Converse,
see that.
The Converse is what kind of keeps me different. But you go to a mall on a Saturday and you see a dude out with his family, because I've been that dude. It's like we all are dressed the same. So about 3-4 years ago, I was like, nah, I gotta. I love my Jordans, because I love Michael Jordan, and basketball. But I've gotta come crazy. I gotta do something different.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that I would love to see more of with men. Men pretty much, like, if they are in the sneakers, they're like, oh, it has to be Jordans. There's nothing else I could possibly wear. And, like, you could if you try. It's not complicated. Some people just aren't ready to mix their style up. It's like, you gotta be, it's part of it, you gotta be ready. But, if that's your thing, you want to stick to it, fine. But I really love when I see people go for the uncommon thing. Like, wear something different for a change just to see how you feel in it. Because I don't like dresses. Growing up such a tomboy, there was no room for dresses in my life. Lately, I've been wearing dresses and skirts. I've been mixing that up, and I was always never dresses and skirts with tennis shoes. Now it's like, all right, let me try it, because I get bored wearing the same stuff over and over again. I have like 100 T-shirts, and then I have all this other random stuff that I buy, especially when it's on sale. It's not like you're losing anything. You got $20, $10 to try something different. It's not a big L. You don't like it, donate it. Give it to somebody else that will. I am notorious for that. I'll buy something, wear it a couple of times, call my sister. Hey, so she wants this thing that I wore some weeks ago, and my sister be so excited. Like, my sister is one of the very different, very unique styles. Like, she be liking my stuff. I'm like, I like your style, man. You like a hippie, but not really a hippie. And it's colorful and unique. And when I give her stuff and I see how she put it together, she wears the stuff that I gave her way different than I would wear it. And I love that. And I just don't see that a lot. Like you said, like with men, you kind of get like the same body types wear the same type of stuff.
Yep.
Like, just mix it up. Be different. My baby brother too. And not just because they my family, but they really do have unique styles. Like, if you ever see pictures of us as a group, you'll see so much going on in our outfits. Like, wow, like y'all all got on something totally just different. Because they're not afraid to wear whatever. They actually help me with some of my outfits when I'm stuck. I send them pictures like, what goes with this? What should I wear with this? Or is this? My baby brother always say don't be too matchy, but I love being matchy, so I don't be listening to him when he say that. That's me. I'm matchy, but I'll have. I have a lot of stuff that's the same color. I got 2 of the same shirts sometimes. That's just me as a person, though. If I like it, I love it. I'm gonna probably overdo it a little bit.
Got you. Now, how does your family, your siblings and your parents feel about your relationship with sneakers and clothes?
They're supported. You got your grandparents that's gonna be like, it's a waste of money, but my family is super supportive to where they send me pictures of shoes and stuff. Like, did you know about this? I was like, yes, I knew about it. Or are you gonna buy it? Yes, I'm gonna buy it. And it's hard for them to surprise me with clothes because it's like, I already bought that. It's already coming. But they're, like I said, they did get me a pair that I didn't have for one of my birthdays. They surprised me. They support me 100%. I had one of my other brothers come put a shelf up in my room for my shoes. So I was like, I need more space. I got to go up. I can't keep stacking them on the floor. I need space on the wall. He came by one weekend and put up a shelf for me. And it fell, and he had to put it back up again. My dad probably thinks I spend money on shoes, but I caught him lately wearing trendy shoes. So it's like, I make decent money. I don't ask my family. It's not like I have a problem to where I'm a shopaholic and I don't have my own money and I'm asking them for money. If somebody owe you money and they buy a new pair of Jordans, it's like, you don't got your priorities straight. You kind of looking at them like, really? That's what you're gonna do? No, it's never been one of those with me. It's always been responsible. Like my kids get shoes when they need them. I hate for them to have. My son's just really rough on his shoes and he don't care right now. I can't wait till he old enough to really come into his style. But my daughter loves shoes. I get a new pair of shoes and I feel bad sometimes if I don't have one for her because she's like, Mommy, I like those. I'm like, all right, dang, let me go ahead and like now I'm starting to buy her shoes when I buy my shoes when I can on release day and stuff because they got small feet. They're younger. Shoes cheaper, easier to get. But it's been a fun journey because my mom has actually started turning into a sneakerhead. Me and my mom was getting packages back to back from Nike. Like, we don't know who package this is. Let's see whose name on it. I got her into some. We actually got one of the same pairs. We got a pair of one of the Nike Pixels, rose gold Pixels, and she actually bought it before me. I'm like, how do you end up buying this shoe before me? Like, she's showing it to me. I'm like, man, let me order mine right now because now I see them in person. I really want them. But it's fun watching her actually become a sneakerhead because it's somebody who used to just wear, actually she had no fashionable sneakers at one point. I hate to put my mom on blast like that. But I'm rubbing off on her. She really, like, her shoe game now is, she up there. She contending. She, like my brother just said, Mom be putting that shit on. When my mom go out of town, especially when she take her trips, like my mom, like I kind of feel like I don't feel like it's competition. I feel like it's like it's friendly support. Cause she went from having like 2 or 3 pairs of tennis shoes. Now she has like maybe 15, 20, and that's a lot for my mom. That's somebody that don't really go out much, and now she taking her trips and she packing. She asked me how I pack 6 or 7 shoes in my suitcase, and I gotta show her, how to put them in the suitcase and all of that. But yeah, my family supports my shoes 100%. And it's expected of me too when we go out. It's like, what shoes are you wearing this time? What shoes are you wearing with this outfit? I see one of my homegirls in there, hey Bridget. Everybody knows that's my thing. Like, I'm gonna come to you with some fly shoes. If I don't have no fly shoes, I guarantee you I was working that day, like working outside, like exercising or something.
Okay. So how do your kids feel about the kicks? Like, I know you said your son is a little rough on shoes. He don't care.
I had to explain to him his custom Spider-Man joints. He wanted to wear them every day. I'm like, no, see, I'm going to let you wear them like twice, but these are really for display. And he's starting to understand now. And then he has like shoes for school that he can play in. And then, okay, no, you have to wear other shoes because you have to look nice. And I'm trying to teach him because he loves Adidas. His thing's Adidas. And I'm trying to teach him not to wear his Nikes with his Adidas outfits, Baby girl's easy going because we both love pink and purple. So whenever I get some shoes that come in her size and they pink and purple, and I get her a pair, the recent pair are the Pure Violet 11s. She loves them, and she knows when we are together and we wear our matching shoes, like that's like special. I let her pick out the outfit. You know, I pick the shoes and then it's like, all right, pick some clothes and I'm gonna wear that. Like when we go out, that's our way of bonding. Part of we do a lot of things to bond, but especially because they know how much I love the shoes. I can see them kind of getting into it when they get older. And I'm teaching them the value of the dollars. Like, you know, if you want these nice shoes, all right, save up your money. And if you really want those shoes, and these are not, I'm not going to just buy them shoes because they're still growing. I explained that to them. I'm not going to buy you a whole bunch of shoes for you to wear 3 or 4 times, and then I got to give them away. Which, granted, I do have nieces and nephews now, so it's not like the shoes will go to waste, but I don't want to get them in the habit of having every single shoe all the time, and just fiscally is irresponsible. I'll make decent money, but I don't make that kind of money, to constantly do that. And they actually understand that.
Okay.
Like, they are really, really good kids, really understanding, because I explain everything to them. They do get the treats, you know what I mean? Like, it's their birthday and they want a special shoe, they get that. They haven't really asked for anything crazy yet. My daughter's never actually, she asked for Skechers that light up, and that's her thing. My daughter's really into Skechers. We go in the store, and she said, "Mommy, I want Nikes like you." Okay, and we walk past the twinkle toes. And I'm like, well, Mommy, those light up. I want those. I'll get her those. My son he loved Spider-Man when he was little. Take him in the store, because we go to Famous Footwear a lot. Because they're little, They see the characters. I let them get the characters and stuff, because that's the shoes that they want. I'm not going to force my style on them. Of course, I love it if they, love what Mommy loves. But they have the right to be their own person. They have the right to pick their own favorite type of shoe. I won't not. I will support whatever style of shoes that they like. When they get older, I'll let them indulge a little more. Once their feet stop growing. Because now, you got to buy them shoes every 3-4 months because their feet grew. I'm trying hard to keep up with them. Baby girl feet grow slow, but you know how boys are.
Right. Now, I know you've mentioned a few, exes in the show. Does your current significant other support your relationship with shoes?
Not currently in a relationship like that to where it's become do you support me doing this thing or not? In the past, my ex called me a hype beast, which I'm definitely not. Like, I'm not a hype beast. You're just jealous because, well, I just better than you. It was one of those arguments we got into. Another one was he was supportive because he was intrigued. Like, he never seen a girl with that many shoes. And, I kind of got him into buying more shoes. So, and we're still good friends now. It just didn't work out. But when I hang out with him and I notice, I'm like, oh, you starting to wear, better looking shoes now. You ain't walking around with, painting stuff all over your shoes and just not caring. Like, I kind of helped him change the style. See that it can be done. I feel like the misconception with men in shoes is that they're so expensive, and they're not. Like, yeah, if you want to get the new Jordans and Yeezys on release day, yeah, that's gonna be pricey. But go to the outlets. Go to the outlets and find your style, especially when you're just figuring it out.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to reach back. Go on eBay, go on Poshmark, Mercari, Depop.
Yep.
Those kind of spots, those are great as well. So as we, kind of wind down, what direction would you like to see your collection go in the future?
Oh, man. Honestly, I want to get more customs.
Okay.
I have a friend. He was in here, but I don't know if he left or not. But Dante, we go way back to elementary school. He actually did the custom for my son. I'll probably be going that direction more so because I feel like we hit kind of a stall where you got, what's the brand that just came out with the backward forward shoe and the red boots, Mischief. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not into that stuff. It looks fun and all, but the price point on them for me to wear them one time, that's just really not for me. For me, it's more of a creative side. I used to draw a lot when I was younger, and I've actually never customized my own shoes. That's something that I just haven't had the time for it, to be honest. And now with my life changing the way it is, I got a better work-life balance. I've really been considering just copping a pair of bricks and some Angelus paint and just seeing what happens. So for me, it's going to be going more towards customs. I have, I think, every old pair of shoes that I wanted, I have. Like, I've already did some digging, which, let me show these before we go. When I had mentioned earlier, I had to get another pair. So I had the low top, red, black, and white. These are the high top, Missy Elliott joints right here.
Wow.
Like this right here, when I found these, and that $100, I'm like, lady, I would have gave you 1,000, but thank you. I wanted these so bad. Like this was like the shoe. When I moved, this one is literally going on display. I did get a chance to wear them. I think I wore these twice, but that was my most important shoe that I had to cop. And now I kind of feel like, unless the Shot Pink 5's coming back out, it ain't really none that I just have to have. I've had all the ones I wanted.
Okay. So there's nothing on your radar for this year that you like, oh, I'm going to try to get those or anything like that?
Nope, nothing that I've seen pop up on the sneakers app. Like I said, too, I want to try to get into I've never had a pair of Vans, so I've been looking at Vans. Just waiting to see which ones pop. I haven't had any Chucks in years, so I'll probably buy some Chucks. But yeah, other than that, just looking at my collection with what I already have, I have everything. Like everything that I wanted that came out in the last like 2-3 years. I've gotten about 80% of those. The others just, the raffle. You get chose or you don't. You take that L. I think I got 2 or 3 off a raffle. Others just by pure luck, because I could wear kid sizes, kids Foot Locker. Log in, y'all got some 7s left. But
right,
yeah, I guess too with it being with me being older too, it's like I still go out a lot, but I don't go out every day. I work from home. My shoes sit. I got pairs of shoes I haven't worn since before the pandemic. They just sit in the box, and I take them out and look at them and everything. And you're like, dang, when the last time I wore these? They starting to, how they feel after they've been sitting for a while? It's like, oh, these starting to feel different, or they starting to turn yellow. I'll probably get into restoring the ones that I already have, especially the ones that still got sole integrity. Because these Shot Pinks are the worst as far as sole integrity. My Forces, I know I could get a donor sole easy for my pink and black Forces, because the sole is black. They just got some paint on the midsole where it says Air. So probably stuff like that. Buying new releases it just hasn't been as exciting as it used to be. I don't know why. So you see the stuff pop up. You see the new releases and you get excited because it's a new release, and then you look at the shoe and you like, I already got that. Yeah. I already have something that looks really similar to that. I don't think I want that anymore. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna permanently stop, y'all. If some fire come out, I'm gonna definitely try to get them. It's just, it's weird to feel the change, because there was a point when I was, and like I would go to Next, and I would go to Villa, and I would go to Foot Locker and Champs. There's been times I done went in all 4 stores in the same day. I used to go to the outlets and buy 5-6 shoes at a time. I just haven't done that in a while, and especially being a parent too. It's more so now I'm buying stuff for my kids. Like, what shoes y'all want, and giving them pointers and advice on shoes. And they so easy going. They haven't hit that age yet where where like brands and stuff matter. They haven't hit that age.
Right.
So I'm actually kind of waiting for that because, especially living, Warrensville is still a suburb, even though it don't, feel like one. The vibes in the small neighborhood. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They gotta have certain shoes in order to fit in. If that's what they want, I would never force them to fit in if they don't want to fit in. Stand out as much as they want to, but they haven't even reached that yet. So right now, probably restoring is gonna be restoring what I have and then getting more customs. I got some ideas, some fire ideas that I know somebody that could bring them to life already. So, and then trying to get back to it myself, just experimenting with that.
Okay. Now, before we go, did you have any questions for me?
Yeah, how many shoes do you have now, man? Because do you even count anymore?
I know how many pairs I have of certain collections, but I don't have like a.
I figured because I was just telling a friend of mine that I've been following him for years now, and like he'll be in a room and there's just a bunch of shoes like to the ceiling. It's like I have no idea how he'd be able to keep up with that. I lost count, and I don't even have half a room full like that. 50 is a good guess just because I could see the 30 on my wall, but that doesn't even count the boxes that I have, or the totes that I have rather, that's just full.
Yeah,
You ever plan? I doubt you'd ever stop buying shoes.
Nah, I mean, but even before this recent life change, I kind of started slowing down because, again, being a Converse employee, which means I'm a Nike employee, at first I was just buying a lot of stuff because I could, and not necessarily that I wanted it, but I didn't necessarily need it.
Gotcha.
So it started to, really last summer, it started to kind of slow down a little bit. But I just know it's four figures. It's definitely four figures.
I figured. I was like, he definitely has over 1,000 pairs of shoes because ain't no way.
I mean, I've got over 400 Converse.
Right there, see, bam.
Because in this, I call this the trap. I only have Converse here.
Got you.
The majority of everything else is just, well, I do have this luggage with recent wears that I need to take back to their boxes. Here, let me show y'all. But I don't really leave a lot of stuff here just because I'm still gauging this area I'm in. But like, these are recent wears, just stuff I need to take back. So, but when I'm still deciding whether or not I'm going to stay down south. If I do decide to come back to Cleveland, then it'll just be where I'm going to be in Cleveland. Because it's places I've lived where I'm like, I would never pay that much to live there. And this was back then. I definitely wouldn't do it now as an older guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one apartment, because I stayed on Kinsman a couple of different times, but this one apartment I used to stay in, it's like $1,200. I'm like, what?
When I tell you I'm staying where I'm at, because literally the rent everywhere is like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Like,
that's why I'm looking for. That's part of why I'm looking for houses too, because the rent out here is just, when you really know the area, you know it's not worth it for some of these prices. It's just,
because like that's why I miss, like, before we moved down here, our last house was in Euclid. It was up the hill Euclid. It was right next to Richmond Heights, and I mean our mortgage was like $850. Like, I pay more than that.
You're gonna be paying more than that in rent.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So I get it. I don't know about buying a house now. It's like the interest rates are so high.
You still come out at the end though. If that's your goal, if putting down roots is your goal. I'm really particular about where I want to be as far as like I want a certain type of house. Like, this is it's a process. So I'm not rushing to move into anything. but I was considering renting a bigger space, and I was like, nah, I can't justify paying that much rent for this place. And some places I used to live too, it's like, y'all can't seriously be asking for this rent. I'm like, did y'all renovate? Is there something different about this building? Oh no, it's the same stuff. Hell no. Then if it's the same stuff, I'm not even getting more for my money. Absolutely not.
Yeah, because see, down here, the biggest difference, obviously the weather is probably the biggest difference. I always tell people, in Cleveland, you can't live without a furnace. It's too cold. Down here, you can't live without air. You can't live without air conditioner.
For the first time in my whole life, last year I lost power in the winter and they had no heat for a couple hours. And I was like, yo, when I look for a house, I need a fireplace, because that was scary as hell. First time in my life in Cleveland, of all places, like other people it's happened to. Like that has ironically never happened to me until like last winter. And my car, I could have drove to my brother's house, but it was so much snow, I couldn't even get my car out the parking lot.
I ain't gonna lie. As much as I miss Cleveland, I don't miss the snow. Here, if it snows, everything just closes.
Yeah,
and it won't even
they ain't ready for it.
It won't be nothing. I'm like, this ain't shit.
I mean, I work from home now, so as long as I got power, the snow don't really bother me. But look, that was part of why my shoe collection got so big anyway. I don't know how many pairs of Timberlands I got. Timbs, Uggs. Man, you got to have boots. You got to have at least 2 pairs of boots if you live in Cleveland.
Absolutely.
You need 2 pairs of boots, period.
One of my favorite last moments with my mom, before I moved down here, because I was on a video call with her. She has an Android. I can't say FaceTime. But she saw my boots, and I was explaining to her, I'm like, well, these are Timberlands from like the 90s, so I can't wear these in the snow. I know they're boots, but I can't wear them in the snow. I've had these Super Tims since 2001. I got them from next to Shaker Square for $40. Now that same boot is $260.
Wow, man.
I can't wear it in the snow. Like, it's certain vintage boots I'm not gonna wear in the snow. It has to be nice outside, but not.
I think I got a pair of Timbs for like $40 that's in my box right now. That came from like maybe 2008, 2009, and they almost the exact same color as the Jimmy Choo ones that came out.
Yeah, stuff, man.
Like, nope, that markup is an absolute not.
Yeah. Well, did you have any other questions for me?
Yeah. What's your oldest shoe that you have?
So I have a pair. I don't have them here. They're at the house, but I have a pair of these shoes. They're called Adidas Viennas. They look like just a regular old Adidas, but they're from 1976. The oldest pair I have here, I can show y'all. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. So I have these Converse Road Stars here. These, you can tell it's old because you see this on the inside. And I don't know how well y'all can see this code here. It's you can see the 18131. So these were made from January to March of 1981. So it's the oldest pair I have here.
Wow.
And they're still wearable. I only wear them on short days to Converse if I'm there for like maybe 4 hours or something. But these are my oldest pair here.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So, but what I love about Converse is you can get vintage pairs. Like, I have several pairs of Converse from the 80s that I can still just wear like a regular shoe. Chucks and, basketball shoes. It's actually easier to find Converse from the 80s over the 90s because a lot of the 90s stuff got recalled because of the React juice. But there's a defect in the React juice. But yeah, this is the oldest pair I have here.
Pretty impressive that it's still wearable, because we talking these from 2006 and the sole is just completely gone.
Yeah, I hate that happened to those. That's such a great pair.
Yeah, when I tell you, I've been looking really hard too, like online for another pair, and people are selling the most beat up, rundown pairs for like $300. It's like, man,
Yeah,
just no.
The netting will be just piss yellow. The bottom will be.
Mm-hmm.
I see them. I see beat down pairs, and I'm just like,
They're like, yeah, $300. Man, hell no. I think the closest the pair I've seen a pair on Flight Club some years ago when it first happened. They was like $600 and they was too big, and I'm like, I just can't even. Like, I'm not.
yeah.
So
The
hopefully
5
those
is one
get
of the only.
released.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, they brought back those women's aquas. I mean, they didn't do anything because they're 8, but they could bring those back. I don't see why they wouldn't.
And my only beef though too, I probably would never buy another pair of Jordan 4s because the midsole paint has peeled on all of them that I have. And I thought I was the only one. I thought I was doing something wrong or something. Like, am I wearing these right? Am I walking right? And everybody else I know say the same thing. That midsole paint start to cracking and peeling. Yeah. And the shoe don't even be that old when it happened. It probably start doing that after what, like the 10th wear?
Yeah. 10th wear or 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really appreciate you being on.
No problem. I appreciate you having me. This was fun. I was like, oh man, like ain't nobody ever asked me to be on the show for my shoes. I've been invited to several podcasts and web shows. I don't want to talk about the stuff they want to talk about, but shoes, yes, I'll gladly talk about some shoes with you.
And I didn't know you were from Warrensville, so that's props on that. I mean, it's not Shaker, but it's close. No, Warrensville always have a special place in my heart. I was really sad that Salvation Army closed. I was hurt.
Oh man, my little brother used to live there, man. Thrifting, I was in school when thrifting was a big deal. I wasn't really that into it, but it was that, and it was like some other little smaller store by next to Big Lots. It was another thrift store over there.
Value World is still there.
Yeah. Then I thought it was like 3, but maybe it was 2.
No, originally it was 3.
It was 3.
Unique.
Okay.
It was unique.
Unique,
which became Saber.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nah, like when I first started working for Next, into 12 going into 13, like I was going to Unique every day because I was finding shoes from 2008 through like 2011, like almost new shape, and they'd be like $4. Like my neon Air Max 95s from 2009, I found there. Air Max 2011s and 12s, LeBron 10s. I was really hurt when that Unique.
I ain't never get lucky like that.
I used to always find stuff in there.
I've never been lucky enough to find shoes in the thrift store. I've tried.
Do you ever go to like Plato's Closet or Avalon Exchange or any of those spots?
No, actually.
No, you got to check those out. Those, and since you were at grade school, you can hit Once Upon a Child because they still have grade school pairs in there. Revolve Kids next to Plato's on Lyndhurst, they be having grade school pairs too. So I'm a thrifter. I always have been. So a lot of my best stuff has just been from thrifting.
Got you.
My OG Jordan 1s, my neutral grays. Now I found them in 2008 before Jordan 1s were what they are now, but they were $2.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
maybe you know what? Maybe that'll be my hobby for this summer because I'm gonna be coaching baseball this summer.
Yeah, you gotta thrift. All you gotta do is just clean.
I'm gonna probably do that this summer. So
yeah,
look into that. I did see my bro asked the question: favorite protein colorway. You already know, man. They call it the Knicks colorway, but it's the Cavs 90s colorway. The baby blue, orange. I actually wanted those 4s. That was a pair that sold out before I could get my hands on them.
Oh, those Cavs 4s.
Yeah, the Cavs 4s.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, those are the Knicks 4s. No, those are the Cavs 4s. And I have the Ilthy jersey.
I seen that.
That's that colorway. And because they dropped the price on that around my birthday to $71 when Donovan Mitchell scored them 71 on points and said, "Oh, that's an easy cop. Easy cop. I love that jersey. If I could get my hands on them fours, that'd be perfect. I already know I'm gonna have to paint the midsoles, but I think I could do that. That's an easy paint, but that'll be something I probably like look for.
Yeah, they did a I mean it's a low top 5, but they did a 5 in that colorway too. It was a low.
I
It
don't
was
like
a 69.
I don't remember them doing the low top 5 in that colorway.
Yeah, they
what
were
year?
We had them at Next, but now that I think about it, I don't even know if they made those in GS. So never mind.
They probably did. That actually breaks my heart sometimes. I remember when the phone pauses got real big, and I tried to rock the smallest men's size. I'm like, these feel like bricks, and they keep sliding off the back of my feet.
Yeah.
I couldn't even wear them. It's very rare that happens where I be heartbroken because the shoe just don't come in my size. Like it comes in men's size only. But a friend of mine recently pointed out he was upset because the men's colorways aren't as vibrant as the children's and the women's.
That's true.
He wants brighter colors, and I've been telling him like, the women's sizes it converts on on the apps when you go buy them, but I have the men and the women's, but the shaping of some of the shoes is different. I do notice that the toe boxes are more narrow on the women's, and I do see that for the guys. It's like if they want they don't have many of those drops. It's probably like 1 or 2 a year where it's a vivid colorway.
Yeah, you all between women's and GS, you all get much better colorways, especially for runners. Air Maxes.
Yeah.
You all always get the better colors. Yeah, it's been plenty of times I've, whether I was working at Next or Hibbett or Foot Locker or wherever, I'm like, damn, this is only a GS, or this is only for women. 12 or women's 13 in it. So I've done that. That's how I got the shot pinks. They're women's 13. Because at Next, when they came out in 06, they sold so bad in those big sizes that they were like $59.99.
Wow.
That's why I was able to get them, because that was when Next was still in Randall. Yeah, they were like dirt cheap.
That's where I remember seeing them in the Foot Locker in Randall, and I didn't get them because it was winter when I seen them, and my mama was like, "You need boots." We came to buy boots. I was like, one day, and then I ended up getting them. But yeah, that's all I had. This was fun. I'm super glad you reached out, get a chance to show off some of my kicks because I don't get to wear all of them. And I do have my other page, my Khadijah James Jr. page. I'll probably be posting more of my fashion stuff on there, trying to keep my kids out of social media limelight, too many weirdos. But yeah, definitely more customs. That's probably what you're gonna be seeing from me in the future. Is definitely just putting more of my stamp on my own stuff. Just getting back to my creative roots anyway. I went to school for film and art and all that good shit. A lot of people don't even know that because I've been removed from that when I became a mom. It's like I really buckled down and started working, and now I just recently got this promotion. It's like I can breathe easy now. I got the space and the money. I'm gonna just get back in here and get into my creative bag.
I think, and this is just my opinion, knowing you all this time, seeing what you have done, the personality you have, the voice, the look, I really think that, your social media, depending on if you want that attention, you could really, blow up with some get ready with me's or just that, because nobody really does it.
I've been thinking about it, but the thing that you just said, wanting that kind of attention, is like, ooh. I don't know. I don't know if I could.
Be good. It can lead to good things. It's not all bad.
Definitely. It's something I've been thinking of, because even my son was like, "Mommy, I want a web show." I was like, "Man, me and your dad used to have a web show way back before you was born, and I've already been in that world. I just didn't think that world would become what it is now. I had Twitter before it was popular. I stopped using Twitter, and now Twitter's the big thing. It's like, well, let me get back to Twitter. Had a YouTube page before people even knew they could make their own YouTube pages. Like, yeah, I got a page for me personally. I got a page for the web show I work on. And this was all stuff that if I had the foresight, I would have stuck with it. I don't regret leaving it though, because like, having a family is something that's important to me, and really spending time with my kids.
Absolutely.
I'm super involved in their lives. And now that they're getting older, I gotta also think about, man, eventually they're gonna be older and, not want to be with mommy all the time. I need to pick up another hobby,
Right.
something that doesn't surround them. So I'll definitely consider it. It'll probably be the most random thing. Just one day you might log in and see I actually started a podcast or something.
Yeah, throw some reels in there. You.
Oh, for sure.
I know that you're creative, and I feel like that's why. Um, you know, I feel like I'm a creative. I mean, that's why there's
Yeah.
always been good vibes between us. So I definitely think that that's something that you should do. And because it's been a while since we've communicated, and now we've done this show, I'm going to be communicating with you like, hey, did you see this?
For
So
sure.
if
For sure.
it's okay, if
That's
it's
that's
okay,
that's cool. That's cool.
okay. Well, listen, thanks again, T. I really appreciate it. Before you go, you want to drop your socials for everybody on here so they can follow you?
Yeah. So the one that y'all can follow on Twitter and Instagram is Khadijah James Jr. Yes, Khadijah James, like, living single. I'm gonna drop it though in here. Same on Twitter and Instagram. This is my public page. And fam, well, y'all know y'all already got me T2 Fresh.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes. Yep. It's funny because that's been my Twitter name. I mean, my Instagram name for so long that somebody that I met recently in my life, they call me that because they literally don't know me as anything else. Like they've never heard anybody call me anything but that because they met me recently and everybody's been calling me T. But growing up, it's T Asia. Everybody knows T Asia. Everybody knows. And I love rapping. I love shoes. But this is cool. This is cool. I would really
Follow.
appreciate you having me. Definitely follow. It's gonna be more stuff. It's a slow burn, because I be living in the real world. I don't be on social media too much, but definitely when I got some fly clothes, I always post because I love I love simple fashion. I'll put it that way. Nothing over the top expensive. For me, it's not the price. It's about how it looks, how it feels. I got stuff that I spent more money than the average person would on. I won't pretend like I don't. I also got stuff that was basically free. So you would never know because I'm a rocket. That's my personality. I'm a rocket. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I think that's
unless you was there when I bought it. You have no idea.
yeah. You know what we should do if we're able to link when I come up there, we should go to a thrift store since that's not something that you do.
That would be fun. Now I would definitely be in Columbus, like the 21st, 20th. But I should be back here. I should be back here that weekend.
Okay,
that would be fun.
All right, we're gonna try to put that together. So, thanks to everybody joining. We're about to sign off on behalf of my wonderful guest.
And shout out to my brother, my cousin. I think I seen one of my besties. Oh, one of my shoes and just fell off my desk. But thanks all y'all for supporting me. Okay, cool. It's a big one in Cuyahoga Falls. Maybe we'll check that one out.
For sure. All right. Well, I will be in touch.
All right.
And we will see y'all soon. Peace.
All right. See y'all.